Ladies and gentlemen, at long last, the One UI 7 beta is finally live. Now, unfortunately, it's only live on the S24 and in certain regions: Germany, India, Korea, Poland, the UK, and the US. Unfortunately, I do not have an S24, but I do have access to their press release, and I have condensed it down. And we're going to go over some of the biggest new features inside the One UI 7 beta, which is based on, of course, Android, is it 15? I think that's right. So the first one that we have here is an AI writing assistant type feature. So basically at any point, you can simply highlight some text and there's a little pop-up with the typical AI icon. You can click on that and get all sorts of new options. You can summarize text, you can check spelling and grammar, you can format the text, basically all of the AI text stuff that you're used to seeing, but now it's just sort of baked into things a bit more deeply. Now, it does look to me like some of this is baked into their keyboard, so I wonder if you change your keyboard to Gboard, do you lose the highlighting ability? You can highlight and click it so you don't have to leave the application. That's basically like the big thing, is that you're in an app, you highlight the text, you get the AI stuff, but you don't have to leave the app you're in to get to the AI stuff. It's just more seamless. So again, if you're using Gboard, do you lose some of that stuff? That remains to be seen. One UI 7 will also now have a call transcripts option, very, very similar to what we have on Pixel phones. You start a phone call, you click a button, and it's going to record that phone call, and it's going to then create a transcript of that phone call, and that transcript can then be summarized, and again, all of those nifty text AI tools are there for this transcript that you just created, and this should be occurring on device, so that should sort of make you feel a bit better about the security issues. This transcript is being sent to the cloud to be processed and then back to your phone. Should be all on device. This is a pretty interesting one. They're launching something called the Now Bar, and this is something that looks a lot like Apple's Dynamic Island, but it appears to live exclusively on your lock screen. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe some of you are already running this beta and you can correct this, but from the imagery that Samsung has provided, it does look like it's on your lock screen. It's basically going to give you current states of certain apps like the interpreter, music, recording app, stopwatch, so forth and so on. It is unclear how and if other third-party applications can hook into this and integrate with this. This is one of these problems. We've seen features like this on other phones, and they end up only working with a very small number of apps, and therefore they just aren't all that useful. So how this progresses will be interesting, but again, it doesn't seem like it's quite as intrusive as the Dynamic Island, so it's probably going to be easier to ignore if it doesn't do a whole lot. Future editor Shane here with a small correction. It does appear like some applications using this Now bar will actually have a little thing up in the taskbar, or up in the status bar, I should say, kind of similarly to what we have on like OnePlus devices as well. So this is not only on your lock screen. Sometimes you might see something up there in your status bar, top left, where your notifications typically are as well. We've also got just a whole bunch of smaller changes. Let's look at this image here. You can see that the widgets in general have a different look to them. It's not necessarily that all of them are completely redesigned, but a lot of them do look pretty different. You have these rounded edges, and a lot of it looks kind of like the iPhone, but with a Samsung sort of flourish put on top. So lots of new widgets. Definitely good to see. We also now have, guess what? A vertical scrolling app drawer. So no more will you swipe up to go to your app drawer and then have to swipe left and right to go through your pages. You can just keep swiping up like every other phone. Great to see that. You don't need a good lock module to change that anymore. We've also got some changes to the camera application, as you can see here. Again, nothing absolutely like groundbreaking, but just, things look a bit cleaner, a bit refreshed, and maybe a bit reorganized compared to how they used to be in the past. So something else that's definitely worth diving into a bit deeper is how big of a change we're seeing to the quick settings panel as well as to your notifications. In the past, you would swipe down once to see some settings and your notifications, swipe down again to get to your quick settings. That is not how this is currently working anymore. If you swipe down on the left side, you're going to get your notifications. On the right side, you're going to get your quick settings. You can also do a horizontal swipe to switch back and forth, but this is what the quick settings screen is going to look like going forward. And this is what your notifications are going to look like going forward. It is a little bit cleaner because you don't have those settings up top. It's just the notification. Obviously, the visual look of this is quite different as well. And you should expect to see that kind of thing throughout the operating system. Lots of icons look different. You're going to see some changes to the settings as well. Just a new, fresh coat of paint all around. Now, personally, I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen news of enhancements to their generative edit feature, to sketch to image. You know, Pixels have Magic Editor, and they have something called Reimagine that is very, very useful. Circle an area and then type in what you want there, and it's going to create that. Obviously, sketch to image. You can sketch in what you want there, but that requires you being able to sketch something that your phone can recognize as the thing you intended to create. It'd be really cool if you could just type the stuff in. So again, I'm a bit surprised that we didn't see these sorts of enhancements given Google already has them. Samsung is, to a large degree, using what Google has provided with this stuff, but maybe that stuff is flying under the radar. If you're running the beta, let me know if there's any of these changes, any additional features that aren't mentioned in Samsung's press release and therefore mentioned in this video. Let me know what you're noticing. Does it seem smoother? How's the battery life, the thermals, and again, any features that you think are worth noting. Hopefully the beta launches on other devices like the Galaxy Z Fold 6 very, very soon. Although some of the new features, like the new app changer, are pretty much exactly the same as what you can get through a Good Lock module. So that's definitely at least kind of cool, but yeah, definitely hoping that we see the beta on the Galaxy Z Fold 6 sooner than later so I can get my own hands on and show you even more stuff directly. But until then, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more content like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.